Hello everyone, and welcome to our session today. I'm excited to kick things off with our first slide, titled Models, Peer Feedback, CPD, and Ethics. This is part of Module 8, Pedagogy Foundations, focusing on reflective practice and professional growth. In this presentation, we'll explore key concepts that support your ongoing development as educators. We'll look at how models guide our teaching, the importance of peer feedback, continuous professional development, and ethical considerations. I look forward to sharing insights and engaging with you all. Let's get started. Today, I want to talk about the importance of modeling curiosity and integrity for student success. When we think about ethical growth, it's really about moving beyond just routine tasks and embracing intentional, evidence-based improvement. This means that as educators, we're constantly reflecting on our practices, asking ourselves what's working and what isn't, and making thoughtful adjustments. Self-assessment plays a crucial role here. It's about critically reflecting on our teaching methods, understanding our strengths and areas for growth, and then taking deliberate action. When we combine critical reflection with intentional action, that's when we see truly effective teaching emerge. This slide introduces us to reflective practice, which is at the core of continuous professional growth. It's not just about doing things automatically. It's about being purposeful, thoughtful, and committed to improving for the benefit of our students. Remember, modeling these qualities, curiosity and integrity, sets a powerful example for students and helps create a learning environment focused on growth and ethical development. So on this slide, we're focusing on what else you could do and what your plan might be moving forward. It's about thinking ahead and considering alternative actions or strategies. When we talk about conclusion and action, we're really asking, what have you learned from your experience and how can you apply it? Next, we look at what went well and what didn't, what was good or bad, and more importantly, why those things happened. Understanding the reasons behind successes or failures helps us improve. Then, there's the evaluation and analysis stage, asking what actually happened and what you were thinking at the time. This reflection helps deepen your understanding of the situation and your responses. The description and feelings part is about honestly describing what occurred and sharing how it made you feel. This emotional insight is a vital part of the learning cycle. Finally, the focus question ties everything together. It's the core inquiry guiding your reflection. All of this fits into Gibbs' reflective cycle, which is a structured way to analyze experiences thoroughly. It encourages us to reflect systematically, learn from each stage, and plan better for the future. This slide emphasizes the importance of continuous reflection to grow and improve in any context. All right, in our next lesson, we'll be testing new strategies, focusing on active experimentation. This means trying out ideas in real classroom settings to see how they work in practice. It's a hands-on approach where we link our experiences directly to pedagogical theories, helping us understand how concepts translate into teaching actions. We'll also engage in abstract conceptualization, which involves reviewing what we've learned from multiple perspectives. This helps deepen our understanding and refine our teaching methods. Reflective observation is another key phase, where we think carefully about a specific classroom event, analyzing what happened and why. Finally, we have the concrete experience, which is about immersing ourselves in actual classroom activities. Each of these phases aligns with Kolb's experiential learning cycle, emphasizing that learning is an ongoing process of doing, reflecting, and conceptualizing. By moving through these phases, we can better connect theory to practice, making our teaching more effective and adaptable. Now, let's talk about how we can adjust instruction on the fly based on student engagement and immediate feedback. This is a core element of responsive pedagogy, which emphasizes being flexible and attentive to what students need in real time. Being agile in our teaching means we're not rigid. Instead, we adapt our methods as we go along, depending on how students are responding. This kind of real-time adaptation helps us keep students engaged and ensures they're getting the support they need at the right moment. The concept of live adjustment is crucial here. It's about making those quick, thoughtful changes during the lesson, rather than sticking to a fixed plan no matter what. This idea connects closely to Schern's reflection in action, which is about teachers constantly reflecting and adjusting during their teaching. It's a dynamic process. You're not just planning and then executing, but continuously thinking and modifying as you go. In essence, this slide highlights the importance of being responsive and agile as educators, using immediate feedback to shape your teaching in the moment, leading to more effective and engaging learning experiences. Now, let's look at how post-lesson analysis can really refine our future instructional design. When we take the time to reflect on what happened during a lesson, it helps us identify what worked well and what could be improved. This process also strengthens our professional judgment, making us more thoughtful and intentional in our teaching choices. One effective way to do this is through journaling and peer debriefs. Writing down our thoughts and discussing them with colleagues creates a space for honest reflection and new perspectives. It encourages deliberate analysis after teaching, which means we assess our practices carefully rather than just moving on to the next lesson. This kind of reflection, often called reflection on action, is crucial because it allows us to learn from each experience. It's about taking a step back, analyzing our teaching, and using those insights to make better decisions in the future. Ultimately, this cycle of reflection and analysis helps us grow as educators and enhances the learning experience for our students. Today, I want to talk about how we can refine our practice to truly enhance student outcomes. At the heart of this is innovation, thinking creatively about how we approach daily challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, we transform them into valuable learning opportunities for our students. Next, we focus on intentional growth. This means using classroom data deliberately to guide our decisions and strategies. By analyzing what the data tells us, we can identify areas for improvement and tailor our efforts to meet those needs effectively. Finally, we emphasize being evidence-informed. This involves applying reflective models that help us evaluate our teaching practices critically. Reflective thinking allows us to make informed adjustments, ensuring we're continuously improving and aligning our methods with best practices. All of these elements, innovation, intentional growth, and evidence-informed decision-making, work together to create a cycle of continuous improvement that benefits both teachers and students. This is how we move from good to great in our teaching practice. Now, let's look at Slide 8, which highlights a powerful tool for professional learning: peer observation. This approach fosters collaborative growth by encouraging shared insight and mutual accountability among educators. When teachers observe each other's practices, it creates a space for open dialogue and constructive feedback. This process not only helps individuals improve their teaching skills, but also promotes a culture of continuous development within the school community. It's really about working together to learn from one another, which ultimately benefits our students. So, by embracing peer observation, we're strengthening our professional learning networks and supporting a collaborative approach to growth. Today, I want to focus on how we can use the class and Marzano models to ensure our feedback is objective, measurable, and meaningful. These frameworks provide us with structured ways to observe and evaluate teaching and learning effectively. When we talk about observation frameworks, we're referring to the tools and strategies we use to gather accurate, reliable data about classroom practices. Standardized tools are a key part of this process because they help us maintain consistency across different observations and ensure that our feedback is based on clear, agreed-upon criteria. By aligning our observation methods with these models, we can give feedback that is not only specific and actionable, but also grounded in research-backed best practices. Ultimately, integrating these models into our observation frameworks helps us support continuous improvement, making sure our feedback truly drives meaningful growth for educators and students alike. Let's take a closer look at the key components of effective feedback using the SBI model. First, impact refers to explaining the effect on learning. It's important to clarify how a particular behavior influences the learner's progress or understanding. Next, behavior involves identifying observable actions. Focusing on specific actions rather than assumptions helps keep feedback clear and constructive. Then, situation means describing the specific context where the behavior occurred. Providing this context helps the learner understand exactly what you're referring to. The SBI feedback framework is a simple yet powerful tool for delivering targeted feedback. It stands for situation, behavior, impact. By structuring feedback this way, we can be direct, respectful, and helpful. Remember, the goal is to support learning and growth. Connecting these points to our overall theme, using the SBI model ensures our feedback is clear, actionable, and focused on improvement. This approach helps foster a positive learning environment and encourages continued development. Let's talk about shared inquiry through joint planning and live instruction, focusing on co-teaching. Co-teaching is really about collaboration, where two or more educators work together to plan and deliver instruction. The key here is the shared inquiry, both teachers engaging with students and with each other to deepen understanding. During joint planning, teachers coordinate their strategies, align their goals, and prepare for how they'll facilitate learning together. This proactive collaboration ensures that instruction is cohesive and responsive to students' needs. Then, during live instruction, co-teaching allows for dynamic interaction, with teachers supporting each other and providing multiple perspectives. It creates a more engaging learning environment, where students benefit from the combined expertise of both teachers. Overall, co-teaching exemplifies the power of shared inquiry. It's about working together to enhance student learning through thoughtful planning and real-time collaboration. Let's talk about the growth focus for a moment. It's really important to emphasize being non-judgmental. When we're observing or giving feedback, keeping an open mind helps create a safe space for everyone to learn and improve. Confidentiality is also key. We want to ensure that any feedback or observations shared are kept private, respecting everyone's trust and promoting honesty. Consent is another crucial aspect. Any feedback or observation should be based on a mutually agreed purpose. Both parties should be clear about why we're engaging in this process and what we hope to achieve. All of these points tie into the broader theme of ethical observation. When we approach feedback with these principles, being non-judgmental, respecting confidentiality, and having clear consent, we foster a respectful environment that encourages growth and learning. So, keeping these concepts in mind helps us be more effective and ethical in our observations and feedback. Now, let's take a look at how structured, credential-based advancement plays a crucial role in developing leadership, fostering inclusion, and supporting trauma-informed care. As you can see on the slide, there are different pathways we can follow. First, we have specialized training, which allows individuals to build specific skills relevant to their roles. Then, obtaining certifications or certs is an important step to validate those skills and knowledge. Pursuing master's degrees, such as an MED, also provides a formal way to deepen understanding and expertise. All of these options represent formal learning pathways that are essential for professional growth. They offer a clear structure for individuals to progress in their careers while ensuring they meet the standards required in these vital areas. Ultimately, these credential-based pathways not only enhance individual competence, but also strengthen the overall capacity of organizations to lead with inclusion and trauma-informed care at the forefront. This approach helps us create more effective, empathetic, and resilient systems. Let's talk about how we can access cutting-edge research, network with other professionals, and stay ahead of emerging trends like AI integration. Engaging with the latest research helps us keep our work innovative and evidence-based. Networking opportunities, whether through conferences or professional groups, allow us to share ideas and learn from others in our field. When we focus on social studies, for example, organizations like NCSS provide valuable resources and connections. Similarly, in tech innovation, ISDE offers a wealth of information and community support. Attending workshops and conferences is a great way to dive deeper into these topics, stay updated on new tools, and explore how AI is transforming education. Overall, incorporating these strategies ensures we're not just keeping up, but leading the way in educational innovation. It's about staying curious, connected, and committed to continuous learning. Let's talk about how to fit professional growth into busy teaching schedules. One of the key concepts here is efficiency. We want to make the most of our limited time, so exploring niche areas like universal design and digital literacy can be incredibly valuable. These specialized topics not only enhance our skills, but also directly benefit our students by creating more inclusive and tech-savvy learning environments. When we look at universal design for learning, or UDL, and artificial intelligence, or AI, they offer innovative ways to address diverse learner needs. And the good news is, there are self-paced courses available on platforms like Coursera, edX, and our own institutional LMS. These options give us the flexibility to learn whenever it fits into our schedules. This approach, using online learning platforms, really allows us to balance ongoing professional development without feeling overwhelmed. It's about making continuous growth manageable and accessible, even amidst our busy teaching lives. Ultimately, integrating these strategies helps us stay current and effective, aligning with the overall goal of enhancing our teaching practices efficiently. Let's talk about how higher student achievement outcomes are closely linked to our collaborative efforts. When we co-develop instructional solutions, we're not working in isolation. We're sharing ideas, strategies, and resources to improve teaching and learning. This collaborative approach also involves sharing lesson plans and openly discussing challenges we face in the classroom, which helps us learn from each other and find effective solutions. Regular meetings are essential. They give us the opportunity to analyze data together, identify trends, and adjust our strategies accordingly. All of these practices reinforce the idea of collective responsibility, where everyone is committed to student success. This is the foundation of professional learning communities, where continuous collaboration and shared accountability lead to better outcomes for our students. Ultimately, it's about creating a supportive environment where we work together to elevate teaching and learning at every level. Let's talk about teacher-led inquiry as a way to generate context-specific evidence. When teachers take the lead in investigating their own practices, they can gather insights that are directly relevant to their unique classroom situations. This approach is often called action research. It's a powerful method because it allows teachers to identify challenges, implement small-scale interventions, and observe the outcomes firsthand. The key point here is that action research is very much driven by the teacher's curiosity and professional judgment. It's about asking questions that matter to your students and your teaching context, then systematically exploring those questions. This process helps create evidence that is both practical and tailored to your needs. Connecting this to our overall theme, teacher-led inquiry empowers educators to become reflective practitioners. It moves us beyond one-size-fits-all solutions and encourages continuous improvement based on real, context-specific evidence. This way, we can make more informed decisions that truly enhance student learning outcomes. Let's talk about protecting student records, assessments, and digital communications from misuse. This is a critical part of ensuring a safe and trustworthy environment for everyone. First, data security is at the heart of this effort. It involves implementing measures to safeguard sensitive information from unauthorized access or breaches. Next, we have GDPR, or the General Data Protection Regulation, which is a comprehensive privacy law in Europe. It sets strict guidelines on how personal data should be handled, emphasizing transparency and user control. Then, there are various privacy laws that vary by region, but share the common goal of protecting individual privacy rights. Understanding and complying with these laws is essential for responsible data management. We also need to consider FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, which specifically protects students' educational records in the United States. It grants students and parents certain rights regarding access and privacy of these records. All of these regulations, privacy laws, GDPR, FERPA, highlight the importance of privacy and data security in our educational environment. They remind us that safeguarding student information isn't just about compliance. It's about respecting and protecting the rights of individuals. Ultimately, integrating these principles into our practices helps build trust and ensures that we handle digital communications and assessments ethically and securely, supporting our overall goal of creating a safe learning space. Today, I want to talk about ensuring high-quality access for all students. This means creating learning environments where everyone has the opportunity to succeed, regardless of their background or circumstances. It's about making sure resources, support, and opportunities are equitable and truly accessible. Next, we focus on affirming diverse student identities. Recognizing and respecting the unique backgrounds, cultures, and experiences of each student is crucial. When we affirm these identities, we foster a sense of belonging and promote a more inclusive community. Dismantling bias in curriculum is another key point. We need to critically examine what we teach and how we teach it, ensuring that our curriculum reflects diverse perspectives and challenges stereotypes. This helps students see themselves reflected in their learning and broadens their understanding of the world. Addressing systemic inequities is also vital. These are the ingrained social, economic, and institutional barriers that prevent some students from accessing the same opportunities as others. By actively working to identify and dismantle these systemic issues, we move closer to true equity. Challenging barriers, whether they're structural, cultural, or personal, is essential for creating an environment where all students can thrive. This involves continuous reflection and action to remove these obstacles. Finally, we see that equity and inclusion are ethical commitments. They are about doing what's right, ensuring fairness, and valuing every individual. Embracing this ethical stance guides our efforts and keeps us accountable to the goal of an equitable educational experience for everyone. Together, these points reinforce our overarching theme, creating an education system that is just, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of all students. When it comes to fairness in assessment, it's crucial to ensure that grading is transparent. This means clearly communicating how students will be evaluated and making sure the process is open and understandable. Using rubrics or criterion-based tools helps us achieve this by providing specific guidelines that define what is expected for each level of performance. This not only makes grading more consistent, but also fairer for everyone. Additionally, it's important to audit our assessments regularly to check for cultural bias. We need to make sure that our evaluation methods are equitable and don't inadvertently favor or disadvantage certain groups. By focusing on these key areas, fairness, clear rubrics, and bias checking, we can create a more just and inclusive assessment environment, which ties back to our overall goal of promoting equity and integrity in education. Maintaining trust and safety is essential in any educational environment, and it really hinges on establishing appropriate emotional boundaries and practicing professional digital communication. When we talk about teacher-student boundaries, we're referring to clear lines that protect both parties and foster a respectful, supportive learning space. Professional conduct is the foundation here. It's about consistently behaving in a way that encourages trust and demonstrates respect. This means being mindful of how we communicate, especially online, ensuring our interactions are appropriate, timely, and respectful. Remember, building and maintaining trust isn't just about policies, it's about embodying those principles every day. When we create a safe emotional space, students feel valued and understood, which enhances their learning experience. So, staying professional in our digital interactions isn't just a rule. It's a vital part of nurturing a positive and secure educational environment. Let's talk about the importance of pushing for a curriculum that truly reflects diverse perspectives. This is essential for creating an inclusive learning environment where all students see themselves and others represented. It not only broadens understanding, but also fosters respect and empathy among students. Moving on, justice is at the core of our work. Advocating for the dignity of marginalized learners means standing up for those who may be overlooked or underserved. It's about ensuring equity so that every student has the opportunity to succeed and feel valued. When we consider student rights, it's crucial to witness and address injustice within school policies. This involves being vigilant and proactive about identifying policies that may inadvertently harm or exclude certain groups. Our role is to listen, understand, and act to make sure policies promote fairness and equality. Lastly, the concepts of speaking up, moral courage, and advocacy are all interconnected. It takes courage to challenge the status quo, but it's necessary for meaningful change. Advocating for justice isn't always easy, but it's a vital part of our responsibility to foster safe, respectful, and equitable school environments. Together, these ideas reinforce our overall goal: to create a system where diversity is celebrated, rights are protected, and everyone feels empowered to stand up for what is right. Let's take a moment to reflect on the core pillars that support our journey as educators. First, ethical integrity is fundamental. It's about maintaining honesty, fairness, and respect in every interaction. Next, continuous learning keeps us growing, adapting to new challenges and staying current in our field. Peer collaboration reminds us that working together fosters innovation and shared wisdom. Reflective practice encourages us to regularly assess our methods and outcomes, ensuring we're always improving. These elements form the pillars of teaching, guiding us toward sustaining professional excellence. When we uphold these principles, we not only enhance our own growth, but also create a positive, lasting impact on our students and the broader educational community.